So welcome to this video. If you've got some old prints that you printed in your darkroom that you're not actually really happy with and you were going to put them in the bin like I was, I discovered using Farmer's Reducer. It's a type of bleach, can do a lot for a print and actually bring it back to life. It's a vital tool, especially using with the Lith process, and I've got a couple of videos that I've actually talked about of Lith. But traditional printing, this also applies in the darkroom, traditional black and white printing, of course. So here I have a print that I was ready to just dump in the bin and get rid of. However, in the end, it came out like this. So the comparison, as you can see, is night and day, literally. And that's what I'm going to cover in this video about using Farmer's Reducer and to get results like this and to get prints that you actually can use. And also, you can learn a lot from this technique. So let's get started.
These are my two Liths from Kodak paper, Kodak Decora paper, very old paper, 18 by 24. And this is kind of very dark. This is really dark. This could just do a little bit of cheering up. So I'm going to use my liquid sunshine on these guys, which is my potassium Ferricyanide formula, Farmer's Reducer as it's known. But first of all, I've got to dampen those prints. I got to make those prints wet. So my prints here are wet. A tray for my Farmer's Reducer. I'm using gloves. So I'll pour this guy in here, and we got to be very quick with this, because we don't want to do this too long. Just want to take a bit of it off. It's about I would say about 10 seconds at the very most. On a print like this, even less. Okay, now that looks quite nice. Just wash that off there. You can see already. It's lightened up quite a lot. So that's quite nice. Now I can do a little bit on Iris's face here. I just want to do a little on this guy. Just want to brighten it up a bit. I found it a bit too dark when it dried down. I want to put a bit more. Now that's done. So let's wash that off. Look at that. That's already come back to life. Now I would dry those and then we'll have a look again. So imagine you have a Lith that's coming out. You know, it's kind of dark. There isn't much that you can do with it. And you go, well, you can bleach it and you can actually bring some life back to it, have some fun with it. So, I'm going to drop it in some Farmer's Reducer here. So I had to do the audio on this part of the video because I got a copyright strike on YouTube. So what I'm doing here is I'm developing my print here. Now I've gotta mention that you will see all the dust, all the scratches that are on your negative. It's unforgiving, this process. You gotta watch this like a hawk because it will bleach everything. Now the great thing about this kind of bleach is that you can redevelop in another developer. You could go back to doing Lith, but one of the real cool things you can do with this and use a paper that it cannot be litable, something like an Ilford paper that's very modern. You do a normal traditional print and then you bleach it and then you Lith it like just normal Lith process. And you can do this with the lights on. You don't actually have to go in under the red light. So this is quite an interesting technique. I haven't tried it myself, and if you are interested, do let me know down in the comments. So the upcoming part of the video, I'm going to go into the details of this print to bring out some of the highlights and remove some of the blemishes in the face using just a Q-tip and the solution in a small cup or a cap. This kind of technique is very typical to use. You can also use a brush as well, and later on in the video you will see that there's an artist who does that, a French artist who's a really very good printer. Much better than I am, to be honest. But it's an incredible technique, this. The lid that I've recovered, I have it on a back of a tray here, and I just have some water that I can put down on, and I have my print nice and wet, and what I want to do is make that eye here a little brighter. So I'm just going to put a bit of Farmer's Reducer here, called Liquid Sunshine. That's my stuff here. Also want to just kind of on the side of the face now. Don't want that to run down because that will ruin it. I just take that off there. It's already working. So let's have another crack at that. Just rubbing that a little bit more, not too much now. Now let's just clean that off. Yeah. Let's do the other side of it again. Take the water off altogether now. Use my glove here. This is bleach. Yeah. Coming close now. Looks a bit like David Bowie. One eye darker than the other. It's already looked a lot better. Yeah, just to that to me is still quite bright on this side of the face. You could reduce a little bit on the other side here. Let's just get that up here. I want to wash that off because I think that's good. I'm still not happy within this little piece in here. See how it catches the light. a lot better. I don't want to touch it too much, but it's a lot more. I did a little lightened up the face a bit and the hands as well with the farmer reducer. So a little bit of time and patience. I'll let that dry. And basically that was a print that was fit for the bin. There you go. Put that my hand over there so you the light above block it. So I'm going to tone my bleach print. I don't know if it'll make much difference, but I think it'll bring a little contrast in as well, because I mean, on the video here it looks darker than it actually is. It's quite light, and I would like that a little bit more contrast. So what I'm expecting to see is a little bit of a jewel tone. The Selenium toner is 50 to 1, I think it is. Yeah, 50 to 1 on that. You can actually use Selenium toner to darken negatives. So if you've got a very thin negative, you can put in a solution of 1 to 2 in Selenium toner, and that will actually give a little bit more. It'll you know, put a bit more onto the negative. It'll darken it a bit. You're going to get maybe, I don't know, maybe half a stop, between half stop and one stop, depending on what's on the negative, how thin they are. I did it on some negatives and I got about half a stop on it. So I don't see much happening on the Selenium toner. The Selenium toner can take, depending on what you're doing, it can take quite a while. It is. I'm just really impressed. They're beautiful. I was going to throw those in the bin, but actually they're lovely prints. Nathalie Lopparelli used this technique, the Ferro bleaching, with a brush to bring out the highlights in a print. Using a hose and a brush. So it's a very common method to use and a good way to bring back some sparkle into a print. Whether it's a brush or using a Q-tip just to bring out the whites in the eyes, as you see here, it's one of those darkroom tips that you need to have. So I hope you find this video useful. I've written a blog post with the recipe, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and do subscribe for more content. It helps support this little channel. And I hope to see you on the next one. And thank you for watching.